you're better than me? I didn't say that.
Fans of the show Titans were excited when DC Universe and Warner Brothers announced that Season 3 was in the works to be released on HBO Max. After the addictive Season 2 finale, many questions were left unanswered, such as whether or not Rachel and Donna are really gone for good, and several potential plot lines for the future season emerged. And while you could just wait for the show to air and find out what happens, we know you might not be able to wait that long, so we'll save you the trouble. Today we're going to be looking at some of the things you can expect in the upcoming Titans Season 3, and let me tell you, it's gonna be good. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Number 1. The set. The first 2 seasons of the show were set all across the United States and San Francisco, but it appears that the crew is staying in a more centralized location for Season 3, Gotham City to be precise. This location has mostly been confirmed with photographs released from various ominous locations, including a battered "You are now leaving Gotham" sign, hinting at some scenes would be set in Gotham City's decaying outskirts. Not everyone was happy with this teaser though. Some hardcore fans feel that the producers center too heavily on Batman and think that following Season 2's conclusion, a move back to Gotham would only serve to undo all the developmental advancement that the characters previously worked so hard for. However, if the first seasons are anything to go off of, the producers know what they're doing, and we can only imagine the drama that will ensue. Number 2. Which characters are staying? As they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The producers of Titans certainly seem to be adopting that approach, as a large portion of the core cast will be remaining the same. For starters, classic characters such as Nightwing, Starfire, Gar Logan, Hawk, Dove, Rose Wilson, and Connor Kent are set to reappear. Fans will also be excited to hear that Rachel Roth will also be returning, and many have guessed that Donna Troy will appear in Season 3 at some point. Jason Todd has also been confirmed as a fixture in Season 3, finally assuming the Red Hood identity. Truly, it's a star-studded cast. And number 3, who is coming? It wouldn't be a new season if there weren't some new additions to the cast list, and it seems that these producers chose their new hires well. Rumors have abounded as to who might be joining the Titan crew, and these rumors include anyone from Roy Harper to Danny Chase. Among the list of confirmed additions are Savannah Welsh as Barbara Gordon, Jay Lycurgo as Tim Drake, Sharon Ferguson as Starfire and Blackfire's mother, and Vincent Kartheiser as Dr. Jonathan Crane. Honestly, imagining how these characters will work together in the plot is as good as any teaser. Next up, the return of Donna Troy. Donna Troy, played by Connor Leslie, was introduced in Episode 8 of Season 1, and Season 2 spent a lot of time developing her character, only to have her die suddenly, albeit bravely, in the finale. Fans were shocked and, understandably, a little outraged at the loss of this character they had become attached to. However, not all hope is lost just yet. In DC Comics, Donna Troy is a complicated character and a vital part of many story arcs, and many people believe that she is not really gone for good. Some believe that the producers will write in a way to reincarnate her, while others think that her death and subsequent re-entry into the plot will be a way for producers to connect the Donna Troy of Seasons 1 and 2 with the Donna Troy storylines of other versions of DC Comics. We can't wait to find out. Number 5. Potential spin-offs. As with any superhero realm, the cast list is getting pretty crowded in Titans Season 3. As the myriad of storylines twist into an ever more complicated web, the possibility for DC Comics spin-off shows increase, and many think that the time has finally come. The Titans universe is going to be incredibly hard to develop with many backstories and mythologies, so some think that Teen Titans characters are the perfect candidates for a spin-off, where their extensive plot and characters can develop and shine on their own without being overshadowed by the other plots of the main show. And as the show is now hosted on HBO Max, spin-offs would be even more appropriate to flesh out the DC Comics universe on the platform. So, Titans addicts, your next fix of the show might be bigger than you think. Next up, some killer twists. Honestly, we would expect nothing less from the next installment of the DC Comics drama, especially after the culmination of Season 2, and producers have promised that Season 3 will not disappoint. Prathiksha Srinivasan, an accomplished screenwriter whose previous works include iZombie and Plan B, joined the crew of Titans in 2020 and hinted that the new season's twists and turns are going to be killer, maybe even literally. She promised in a tweet, "I can guarantee y'all will never be able to predict these twists and turns. That means it's got to be good," and the show's language, content, and storyline pushed boundaries of the DC Comics universe from the very first episode, and at this point, fans expect nothing less. Give the people what they want. 7. An awesome storyline. Where would those twists and turns that Srinivasan promised be without the addicting storyline to back it up? Although producers have kept the details behind the main twists and turns pretty hush-hush, some general plot points have been confirmed. For starters, Dick Grayson will connect with former Batgirl Barbara Gordon in order to learn from the mistakes of their parents, while Dr. Jonathan Crane will enter the show as an inmate at Arkham Asylum, working with the police department as a criminal profiler. Jason Todd's madness will also be documented as he transforms into Red Hood, a plot point that has been highly anticipated by fans. But don't worry, no spoilers. Number 8. An enticing trailer. The producers know what fans want. They want more of Titans. So that's exactly what they gave them in a short trailer released in June of 2021. The trailer didn't reveal much in the way of plot twists, but it did feature Nightwing along with the entire team. It also confirmed that the costumes, set, and filming styles will largely be on par with what fans had gotten used to in the first 2 seasons. The short trailer was just enough to get fans hungry for more, without uncovering any secrets of the plot, so fans will have to wait until it airs on HBO Max to find out more. Maybe we should call it a teaser instead of a trailer. Number 9. More DC Universe development. Because previous seasons were hosted on the much smaller US-only DC Universe app, Season 3, which will air along with Seasons 1 and 2 on HBO Max in the US and Netflix outside of the US, will reach more DC Comics lovers than ever before. It seems that the producers are fully aware of their expanded audience and have injected Season 3 with more classically recognizable Batman-adjacent characters than any other season. Veteran fans of the show are going to love the increased character development among the heroes and villains they already know and love, while newcomers and classic DC Comics fans will instantly be hooked into the dark plot and timeless characters as the producers work to extend the DC universe throughout the season. Count us in. Next up, jaw-dropping costumes. The official Titans DC Comics Twitter account has been teasing fans leading up to the release of Season 3 with awesome pictures of the costumes, and they look swoon-worthy. It appears that more and more characters will be wearing costumes from the comics, a move that was highly popular with fans who have been demanding more comic looks since the first season. Siblings Starfire and Blackfire will be getting their opposing black and gold looks with purple that fans are familiar with from before the show, and we have to say that the new outfits really suit them. Jason Todd's Red Hood costume was also highly anticipated, and the revealed look is just as dramatic and menacing as we hoped for. Number 11. The Titans come together as a team. It only took 3 seasons to make it happen, but the trailer and producers have confirmed fans can expect to see the Titans united as one team, fighting new and exciting threats. As Season 2 managed to end without many cliffhangers, we can only imagine the types of threats that will face the Titans as they enter Season 3. With Deathstroke and Cadmus Labs finally stopped, many expect Blackfire to be one of the main antagonists of the season, along with Rachel's quest to bring Donna Troy back to life, presumably adding a few stumbling blocks to the plot. We'll just have to wait and see, because we truly can't imagine what could happen next. And finally, when is it coming out? Understandably, the biggest question on everyone's mind is, how long do we have to wait before we can see all of this for ourselves? There's bad news and good news on that front. The bad news is, it was originally scheduled for release sometime in late 2020, but the COVID-19 shutdowns forced production to a temporary stop. But the good news is that the crew is back on track and in the finishing touches. You won't have to wait much longer, as the tentative release date of the first episode is in August of 2021. So grab your popcorn and your favorite binge-watching blanket, because it's almost here! And that concludes our video. Thanks for watching.